How are we doing, guys? And welcome back to 𝐷𝐿𝐶. I've got an absolute legend with me for the opposition preview. It is none other than Mr. Grizz Khan. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing very well, Oscar. Absolute pleasure coming on and always talking football with you as always.
It's good. It's good chat. It's good chat. But recently, well, actually, to be fair, thinking about this question, you've always been of the opinion Liverpool have been in the title race. So if you thought it was on then all of a sudden City get beat by Tottenham. How much is it on now, the title for Liverpool?
Yeah, look, if we go back sort of a few weeks, everyone was talking about an 11-point gap. And then at that stage, when it's 11 points, realistically, there is no title race, right? But then people start mentioning the game in hand. No, but if you win your game in hand, it's 8 points. And then you think to yourself, still 8 points. You really can't see City dropping that many points. But this Barclays Premier League is what it is. And the reason why we love it all is because all of a sudden they drop points against Southampton. Who would have thought? And then they drop points at home to Spurs, who are on the back of 3 defeats. Who would have thought? And suddenly, if we manage to beat you guys, it's down to 3 points. So look, title race on, most certainly. And it's given us some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said to you the other day, I've always been of the opinion since the start of the season that one of you or City will win the league and one of you or City will win the Champions League. I do think you guys are the strongest two teams in the world at this moment in time. I'm not just saying that just to blow smoke, but I do genuinely think you two teams are by a distance the best two teams. But I've got to say, in terms of difficult fixtures, I think Anfield's away is as tough as you can get. I think it's more difficult than the Etihad. We lost 7-0 at the Etihad, so that's not fantastic to hear for all these TV viewers, but I do think there's no more difficult game than this one. Obviously, the fact you're back in the title race as well, firmly back in the title race as well. This is your game in hand. You're going to be bang at it. You've rested players, as we're going to talk about later on. I mean, do you feel like that, Grizz? Obviously, it's been since April 2017, I believe, since the last time you guys lost in front of a home crowd. That is, I think, if that stat is correct in the league, that is an absolutely phenomenal stat, I've got to say.
Look, with crowds, yeah, you got to remember last season without crowds, obviously with the COVID season, we lost a couple of times at home. But look, we'll disregard that season because, no crowds, injuries, etc. We'll disregard that whole season. It didn't happen.
But Chelsea never won the Champions League. I'm more than happy to do that, mate.
But do you know what it is? And I agree. Look, the 7-0 that you referred to with you guys, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you had 16 and 17-year-olds playing all over the place, right? It was absolutely depleted. That was at you guys at your absolute worst, wasn't it? In terms of injuries and COVID ravaged, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had Luke Hayden was playing centre back. I know that much. I think 𝐿𝐶𝐅𝐂 came on at half time. Again, we weren't as aware of how good 𝐿𝐶𝐅𝐂 was at that point. And yeah, I think Liam McCarron came on. There was a couple of it was.
I remember.
So look, in that game.
So look, you're going to be far stronger come sort of tomorrow night, as is the case is now. And yeah, look, even though you've got Calvin Phillips missing, I believe, and Bamford, overall you're in a far healthier state than that game. But unfortunately for you guys, we're in A1 position as well now. Like, if you compared us then to where we are now, we've got, actually Jota and Bobby Firmino are the only absentees. But apart from that, we're going to have everyone available. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's a good time to play Liverpool. It's not, because we are, that smelling blood, as you said. We've seen a gap, we've seen a light, and we're absolutely going to go for it. And look, it being a night game at Anfield, it adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? And look, I'm not gonna disagree with you. It is one of the most hardest grounds, if not the hardest, to go over, especially for a night game under the lights when it means something. Yeah, look, we have our quiet games. Like people were saying, why was the crowd so quiet against Norwich? Well, it's Norwich, 3 p.m. kickoff, but when we needed to, we raised it Everyone was at the ground said at halftime when we needed it, especially when they scored, we raised the atmosphere went mad, the fans went mad, and the players as a result went mad. So yeah, but I think with you guys, it's going to be from the off. I really do, man.
I mean, moving on a little bit, obviously there's been some absolute classics between the two teams. I mean, none other than the first game of last season between the two champions last season. Obviously, when you guys came out on top, 4-3 winners. I think you scored in the first 5 minutes and then won it in the 90 plus 5th minute with a Salah penalty. There's obviously been the 𝐷𝐿𝐴 game as well, also a 4-3. I mean, there's been some absolute classics between us, hasn't there, Grizz? I mean, even if you go back to before we got promoted, I mean, there's been some absolutely unbelievable. I remember when we played you as a League One team in the Cup, and you kind of just about beat us 1-0, but we gave a fantastic account of ourselves as a League One team. I mean, it always seems to be a classic when we play you guys.
Always goals. Always exciting, always goals, always end to end. And look, even if you spoke about the one that you came back in the first season in Premier League, like sort of 2 seasons ago, and the first game at Anfield. So yeah, the first game at Anfield with no crowd there, you was absolutely brilliant. You took us by surprise. Everyone thought first day of the season, Leeds United coming to the home of the champions, this should be a walk in the park. It was anything but a walk in the park, and it left a lasting impression on me anyway. Under this coach, I thought to myself, yeah, this is, again, I'm not saying it because I'm on your channel and it's a Leeds channel, but it very quickly became one of my favorite other teams. Like, I proper enjoyed watching them, and they've left that impression. Look, this season you've had a few hiccups, but you do raise it against the big boys. You put yourselves up against it, and every time. And look, going back, I mean, my worst memory is obviously the famous Tony Yeboah thunderbolt from the fucking halfway line where he smashes one of them all-time great volleys. Right, that's a nightmare scenario. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the 𝐷𝐿𝐴 hat-trick, like 4 goals, wasn't it? Sorry, it wasn't even a hat-trick. It was all 4 he scored, didn't he?
All four.
So yeah, look, there's been some bad memories, but we've had the odd good memory. I remember 𝐿𝐴 up there scoring a goal. Winning goal.
That celebration.
That one.
No,
that's where it started.
That
started there. But yeah, look, you always guaranteed entertainment when we meet, and I think there's no difference tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel that as well. I think as much as it might sound a very delusional thing to say, I do still think we might have the odd moment in the game. If we can stay in it in that first 20 minutes, because I just feel like Anfield tomorrow is going to be bang at it from that first 10, 20 minutes, as you say, smelling blood, wanting that quick start. Obviously, Diaz has just come off the back of a goal. Mane, Salah, you're probably going to start at that front three again. They're going to be at us in that first 20 minutes or so. I mean, just keep it calm in that first 20 minutes. It's not something we've done very well this season, in all honesty, Grizz. But I just feel that we give ourselves a little glimmer of hope, because that's the thing. No one's going to say Leeds realistically should get anything from this game. Realistically, we're talking. But it's all about, for us, giving ourselves the maximum chance possible. And for me, it's one of them. Quieting that crowd down early doors has got to be a key thing for us, and making sure that with 20 minutes to go, half an hour to go, if it is level, we give ourselves something in the game, to kind of protect or try and push for. We just got to keep ourselves in that game for me, in that sort of the last 20, 30 minutes when Anfield really will be rocking, trying to, obviously, if you aren't ahead in the game, really trying to push for the game. But just to talk about that Norwich game a little bit, you guys dropped Trent Alexander-Arnold, well, not dropped, but rested Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, Thiago, and Fabinho. I think they all come in for this game, surely, Grizz. Surely all 4 of those are back in the team.
I'd think so. I think so. Unfortunately for you guys, I think
I was hoping you say no then.
Yeah, I think we probably give a run out to all 4. Thiago maybe again might get a little rest in case we need him for the second half. Naby Keita might get another goal there. But yeah, Fabinho will definitely come in. The fullbacks will definitely come in. And look, what can I say? Even though we've got a League Cup final on the Sunday on the weekend, there will be absolutely no distraction. We will want to just get the 3 points against you, and I think the only way the 2 teams know how to play is go out and attack. I know you said you want to try to keep it tight, but I don't think you know any other way of playing. Just like us, home and away, we play the same, just like you guys, home and away. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you will tell me you guys play home and away exactly the same way. Go for the opposition, high press, high intensity, and that's exactly how I think the game's going to pan out as well. Like both teams going at each other straight away from the kickoff.
Is there anyone in this game who you think we should be especially wary of? Obviously, we know about Salah, Van Dijk, but Diaz seems to have made a really strong start to his Anfield career, and so it seems to really get the Premier League early doors. If that's a good way of putting it, I guess.
No, I know exactly what you mean, and it's true. He gets it. And the reason is because we've scouted him so carefully. He's part of that. He's part of a team at Porto where they pressed with the same intensity. The attackers were asked to play in the same intense way like our attackers are asked. He's fitted in like a glove, Oscar. He's fitted like a glove. Look, everyone knows Smo. Salah's on a mission this season to fucking clean up the golden boot and whatnot. You know, he's going to be hungry again. I don't think he's going to get rested. Mane may get a rest. You may get to see Divock Origi. You know, I don't know if Leeds fans will be happy about that. I don't know how Liverpool fans will be about that, but I think Divock Origi might get a surprise start tomorrow. But Luis Diaz is for sure someone to look out for. And I know your record hasn't been great on set pieces, so you won't like the fact that Trent is back as well, because he's a masterful set piece taker, isn't he?
And there's only the 6'5" Virgil van Dijk to cope with as well in the box, and then the 6'6" Konaté or Matip, whoever comes in, but obviously it's centre back. It's that is a bit of a worry. I'm not going to lie, that is a bit of a worry, the set piece situation. But I guess the thing to talk about with Salah as well is obviously he's you've got to say, with obviously Messi and Ronaldo both starting to kind of go past their peak now, I feel. Is Salah good enough to win the Ballon d'Or, would you say, now?
Oscar, from a playing point of view, the stats and the numbers say he is. He just won't get the recognition. You know, I hate talking about, like, I don't want to go into the reasons why I think he will never get it. But, you know, there's no doubt that Messi and Ronaldo have been the standout greatest players of our decade, last decade, right? But you can't really say on a performance level they've been on the same level as Mohamed Salah for the last 12 months. You just can't say that. You can't say that with a straight face. This guy's been phenomenal for club and country. Like, Egypt were so the underdogs in this African nations, and he took him to the brink. He literally took him to the final, you know, and he's not, if he doesn't get recognition, it makes you a bit sad. But I think he doesn't really. I don't think he really cares. But look, I still think he's disrespected, Oscar. He's very, very disrespected, and people will remember him once he's left the Premier League and think, "My God, was that his record?" Because he's just reached 150 goals from a right wing position in 230 games. I mean, that is insane levels, but it is what it is.
That's worrying levels for tomorrow, is what I was going to say. That's not. But no, look, I mean, assist-wise as well, he's well up there in terms of, you know, playmaking, creativity, unbelievable, really. You know, when you look at his numbers, they have, to be fair, you know, obviously everyone talks about your Ronaldos when he first came here, Bales, Hazards, all these lot. But Salah, stats-wise, especially performance-wise, I think he totally outdoes them all, I think, personally.
Oscar, he's and there's no doubt about it, I think, unless he goes on a drought that he doesn't score again. But he's about to win his third golden boot in 5 years. Third golden boot in 5 years. Like, from right wing. And people say, oh, he's a striker. No, check out his heat maps. Check out where he plays. All his work is done from a wide right position. That's insane.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. And like you guys, our star man for me, well, definitely our star man, also plays in that right wing position. It is Rafinha. I mean, is he the player from a Liverpool point of view you're wary on? Because last time he played at Anfield, which I think is actually the only time Rafinha's played against you guys, because he wasn't a Leeds player when we were at Anfield, and I think he was injured when we played at Ellen Road last season. But this season against Robertson, I really enjoyed that battle, to be honest. And obviously, you guys went on to win the game comfortably. But first hour or so, I thought that was where we were getting a little bit of joy, actually. Rafinha was having a little bit of joy against Robertson. Robertson probably won the battle over the 90 in the end. But I think that's a key battle for us if we're to have any hope in this game.
For sure, for sure. Absolute danger, man. Love him. I mean, who doesn't? Um, what a wonderful player. Absolute wonderful player. He's got it all, hasn't he? He can drift inside. He's got a lovely left foot, can strike the ball. He's so strong. He's quick. He runs directly at the fullback. He's one of those aggressive attackers, if you know what I mean by that. He's not one of your flary, easy on the eye, just easy on the eye, and just takes things easily. He's really aggressive in his attacking play. And look, I like the other fella on the other side. Jack, is it going to be Jack Harrison or Dan James or whoever it's going to be?
Well, to be fair, Grizz, it's a debatable point because Jack Harrison actually came off at half-time against Man United, and Marcelo was talking about our attacking play was a lot better second half after Jack. Not that he wasn't directly having a pop at Jack Harrison, but it depends how you kind of dissect what Bielsa was saying. There's a possibility Jack Harrison might go to the left, Dan James might play as a false nine with Rodrigo just behind. That's possible. Or it might be Dan James on the left, Rodrigo up top, and we go over midfield three. This, in terms of, because I'm going to do a predicted 11 as well before the game, this is the hardest I've had it all season. I cannot tell you for 1 minute how we will line up tomorrow because, to be honest, the way we played against Man United, I wasn't expecting. I certainly didn't think Rafinha would be on the bench. When I saw that before the game, I was thinking, whoa, kind of thing. I was not expecting that. So, to be honest, mate, I honestly couldn't tell you. But whoever it is on that side, especially James, there's a lot of pace on that side of the pitch, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, James has come back, gone to Leeds from not such a successful spell, and he's done well for you guys. And you've got a lot of pace throughout the team. You've got a lot of pace in that, especially in those wide flanks. And obviously, Rodrigo he's a class player. I mean, he's going to be one to watch out for as well. He drifts sort of, he plays kind of like a false nine for you sometimes, doesn't he? He tries to link up the play, but he's got a lovely silky left foot, and obviously he's got a wonderful understanding with Rafinha. So there's absolutely some threats from your side. I was disappointed as you seeing that Rafinha has been rested for us. So yeah, I was with you with that one.
No, absolutely. But I mean, just before we go into the prediction, Grizz, what's your general thoughts on Leeds? And obviously, we spoke before, and you said that from a neutral looking at it, Bielsa still looks like absolutely spot on for Leeds United, the perfect fit. It is just the injuries. I mean, do you worry at all for Leeds in terms of this back end of the season, in terms of really getting dragged into it now?
The only thing that worries me is when you told me that, Bamford's probably, there's no likely date for a return. That slightly worries me. Overall, I've always said it's your injury situations. I mean, look, you're not a massive squad. So when you're going to be missing 3-4 of your spine, and you're talking crucial, like your captain's missing as well, isn't he? The centre back.
Lee Cooper.
There you go. You've had Phillips missing for such a long time. You've had Dallas miss games. You've had so many key players. Bamford we've touched upon. You take out these key players from any team in the bottom 12, 15 teams, they're going to suffer. I don't know why people don't want to accept that or realize that there's context behind your patchy form this season, But I genuinely think you're gonna avoid relegation, and that's your target ultimately.
I've made a lot of comparisons, to be fair, Grizz, in terms of when you talk about the injuries to Liverpool on All Leeds TV, and sometimes people have said, well, that's a very delusional way of looking at it. But the fact of the matter is, Liverpool dropped 30 points from the title-winning season to this season. And you've got to remember, last season, it was only a real late surge when you finally found that balance that got you into that kind of, 70 points, I think it was, or something like that. It might have been 69 points compared to 99 the previous season. But anyway, you're actually looking like being outside of Europe at one point in that season. And that's kind of where we are now. I'm hoping at this stage of the season, this is where we're at our low now. We've got obviously Phillips to come back. I just think, for me, when one player comes back, a bit like you guys, one player comes back, I just think it has the domino effect across the whole team. Because last season, I think your season changed when you put Fabinho. We're able to put Fabinho back in his number 6 position, and you weren't playing him on the right or left of the back four kind of thing. I mean, would you say that's a fair thing for Leeds? A similar kind of thing could happen when KP is back available?
Absolutely. I mean, you know more than me how crucial he is, but even as a non-Leeds fan, looking from the outside, you can see how crucial he is to, especially the Bielsa way of playing. He's absolutely pivotal, and he's one of the best in the league at it as well. So you take that away, as well as all the other injuries around you. What do people expect? I genuinely don't know what people expect. He's got a small squad as it is. You wasn't that active in the transfer market. I don't think you done anything in January, did you? Did you do anything in January? No, you don't think you did. Did
No,
you?
certainly
No.
not on the senior side of things.
So there you go. So I don't know what people expected, but look, I think you're a wonderful team managed by a wonderful eccentric coach who's actually a proper coach. And I see far worse teams than you guys below there. So I think you'll be okay.
I love that. I love that. Well, you say we'll be okay. Let's go into the prediction then for tomorrow. What are you saying, mate?
Well, yeah, when I say
Just be
okay,
honest. Be honest.
yeah, when I say okay, I mean okay after us.
After this game.
Yeah, look, I've predicted, and I have to stick with it. I'm not gonna shy away from it. I've predicted a 4-1
Okay.
for Liverpool. You're always liable to get a goal. That's the way you are. You play until the 95th minute or wherever, however minutes of added time there's always is, and you're always attacking. So, but if we get an early goal, yeah, it could end up a long, long night for you. But as you said, if you stick in there for the first half an hour, pressure can do mad things, as City have found out, and as we nearly found out against Norwich. But yeah, look, it's all about that first goal. I think that match against United will have taken a lot out of you as well. So that first goal, if you get that early, a lot of heads might go down, and energy will be sapped from you guys.
Yeah, that's my worst fear, kind of starting the way we did last time we went to Anfield. And I think the difference is last time we went to Anfield, it was the first game of the season. Obviously, no fans there either. I think that was one of the few games where we benefited from having no fans in the ground because we were able to really get ourselves back in the game. And there was a way back for us in that time. But my worst fear is something like that happening again tomorrow. We just got to start the game on the front foot, try and create 1 or 2 chances, and just spring a couple of passes together, a few counter attacks, and I think that's the best way of getting us into the game. But Grizz, some lovely words about Leeds United and Marcelo Bielsa there, mate. Where can we find you, mate? Because you are everywhere. You are a legend in the YouTube scene.
No, mate.
Scene.
No,
Where
man. It's
can we find you, mate?
absolutely humbled to come on. Yeah, always a good chat. Yeah, just follow me on. I've just recently started my own channel. I do bits for 90 minutes and on the Big Six show. But yeah, if any of your lovely, amazing subscribers and followers could do you want? Because it's predominantly a Liverpool channel, but I do shows on sort of all clubs. And generally, so just Grizz Khan TV, and that'd be amazing, man. Appreciate the invite.
No worries at all, mate. The links will be in the description down below. Make sure you subscribe to this absolute legend. Make sure you subscribe. Follow him on Twitter. The links are all in the description down below. And we will leave it there, guys. See you later.